The dealer has declined an engine on a 2024 Ram for a broken front crankshaft. So I'm throwing my best people at this thing because a 2024 and the dealer's denying it. I'm gonna put Dylan, Tyson, my two best mechanics on it, and I'm gonna throw Brandon, my Bulldog service rider, and see if we can get some help for this guy. I'm about to find out, is that legit?
Replacement engine due to crankshaft external damage. And found harmonic balancer is laying at bottom of fan shroud. So the balancer has come off.
So it has nothing to do with the rear?
No.
Oh.
So the flex plates were done twice because of other problems under warranty. Now this time they've done their harmonic balancer, and the bolts apparently had fallen off, dropped into the fan assembly, and that's where the truck's at now. So when you see, this thing is torn apart.
Oh, wow.
The front cover is off. Fans off.
The valve cover's off.
Covers off. Injectors are exposed. Tons of parts inside the cab.
Oh, God, yeah. The tensioner's busted off. That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice the tensioner.
Yeah, the tensioner's broke.
Oh, this is a little messed up.
Is the dampener in the truck? Oh, here we go. Here's. Oh boy. Oh wow.
They cut off. Like it's literally cut. I got both batteries.
We got body.
Do you
mount
see the
bolts.
dampener? They got two rod bearings off.
Front of the fan.
Yeah.
It's probably ready for the cab to come off.
Yeah, but the cab.
Body mount bolts are all over here.
Oh no. Here's all the rocker arms and everything in here. There's cab bolts. Oh wow, what a mess.
It's like they just kind of threw this guy to the curb.
Yeah, they didn't keep track of anything here. Well, let's get it in the shop so we can get underneath and start having a better look at this thing. And then we can lay out all their parts that they have in the boxes on a bench.
Yeah,
And have a look.
let's go from there.
Yeah.
You see this little thing? This isn't your normal gadget. This thing is game-changing for me. It's like having a personal secretary attached to you 24/7. I love it. This is the Plaud Note, and what it does is pretty wild. I use it every time when I have meetings with my mechanics or customer calls. One tap and it builds structured notes on the spot. It highlights the key points of the discussion and even action items, so nothing slips through my cracks, man. And I need this. It's way faster than me scribbling things down on sticky notes. You can even ask it questions like, what was the diagnosis from that F-150 last week that I did? And sometimes I get in the middle of one or I'll go to another one and I'm like, dang it, where was I at in that? I go to Plaud and it gives it to me, boom, like that, and I can even get the transcript. It's basically the reliable team member I've got, and it never forgets a thing. This thing has a 60-day standby period, and it can do 30 hours of continuous recording. So I could just leave this thing running all day and not worry about it. Your data's protected with enterprise-grade security. For a shop that lives on a reputation, that matters. So use code DAVE20 to get this cool product. It's gonna be a game changer for you.
Okay, good. That's good for now.
Yeah, let's get the parts out.
Let's get stuff out.
Yeah, they got a bunch of parts in here. It's torn apart by those.
So you can see where the front cover was getting got hit. Yeah, that's what I want to get over here next. Oh. Oh dear. That's the front cover. So this is this what bolts.
Fan shroud, yeah.
This bolts for the fan shroud.
Well, here.
But yeah, we got main cap. they took out. Okay.
So pickup tube.
There's our main bolt.
Not really seeing a lot of metal. We got chunks
Seen a
of.
ton, yeah. I'd love to see the crank pulley.
That's a little piece of metal there.
So they took off the number 6 rod bearing, the main bearing, which I'm not seeing a bunch of scoring there. Dylan,
Yeah.
let's make sure we pull and cut that oil filter open. 'Cause,
Okay.
you know, I'm not seeing like a bunch of alarming metal.
Yeah, and the oil.
So yeah, here's the crank. You can see all 4 bolts have been sheared off, and then the center pin is gone. That's crazy. I'm wondering what has happened there, because the bolts are in there.
They just all sheared?
Yeah. Are any of those bolts loose where it's sheared? Would be a question. You know. Oh, here we go.
It's coming out.
Because, you know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, you just had a bunch of tranny work done. Did the technician use the dampener to tighten these bolts? Because see, there's a bolt right there, all sheared off. It's not seized in or anything. So, you know, usually stuff like that happens when bolts aren't tightened, is when things break and shear to where they can move and flop around. That's normally what causes that. Because if the holes in that dampener were wallowed, that means it was loose, and the only way it comes loose is if it's being worked on and messed with. Call and see if they can get the crankshaft pulley that was on here. That'd be really nice to look at.
If this failed while it's operating and driving down the road, if that's sheared, could that balancer have just dropped on the road and went flying?
It is possible, yes. So they don't even have it.
Most likely. I doubt they'll have it, because if this was in operation...
So he's going down the road, it bounced,
Yep.
and it didn't stay in the shroud, and it bounced around. It could be, yeah, they don't have it at
lost
all.
on the side of the road. Well, they did a flex plate and a starter once or a couple times too.
Flex plates.
So the question is, okay, why did the second flex plate have a problem? A flex plate normally, unless there's something going on,
Yeah.
normally a flex plate doesn't fail. So there's going to be a few things that we're going to want to double check while we're working on it to make sure, like the torque converter doesn't have a problem, the bushings aren't wore out causing that torque converter to move too
Wobble
much.
around.
Because normally that flex plate should be just nice, you know, all it does is spin and turn the starter.
Yeah.
So unless there's some abnormal load,
Or if a thrust bearing's going bad or something, but yeah.
that isn't something that normally happens.
Yeah.
How often have we replaced a bad, you know, flex plate? It's very rare. Usually they'll crack and make little tinky noises, or the starter motor wasn't adjusted right, so it was grinding on the teeth.
Yeah.
But to have it completely fail and come apart, we want to check a few things while this is apart. Then there's also, do we want to give them an option of a, you know, new billet, you know, flex plate?
Yeah.
But still, you know, why is that flex plate failing? Is it a
Yeah.
manufacturing defect problem, or is there something, an underlying problem?
Issue.
So we'll definitely want to have a close look at that when we have it apart. As far as the motor, the failure needing to replace it's the crankshaft. Everything else is fine on the motor.
Yeah, did you see that?
But yeah, what was wearing into it.
yeah.
So it was wobbly, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, it went, and it just broke all this stuff. So we'll of course get new. We'll see if he wants a nice billet cover.
Yeah, one that won't leak.
Give him some nice upgrades. This isn't a 2025,
This is a 2024.
24, so it's not the new, brand new motor.
No.
So
it is
this
not.
should be, yeah, this is tried and true. So, So I guess ask him if he's done any tuning mods, if he's any transmission mods, or if he just bought this bone stock and he hasn't done anything to it.
It is bone stock. I
Is
know
bone
that,
stock?
Yes.
All right, well, keep a close eye out on stuff, especially around the transmission. See if you notice anything, and
Yeah, we'll definitely check out that torque converter too.
just, yeah, because that twice in, I'd have to look and see how many miles of failure.
106,129 for the first one. 108,000 on the next one.
2,000 miles.
2,000 miles.
Okay, there, yeah. A flex plate just doesn't
No.
come apart. So stress, abnormal stresses, poor manufacturing, or incorrect installation.
All right, Dylan, that's
Well.
in your hands.
My hands now. We'll get the cab off and start tearing into it and see what we find.
That's where it finally flexed out. Well, they'll all come out. That's where it finally flexed, and away it went. Sheared everything.
If they're loose, you can spin them out.
So it was just loose.
Well, look, it even snapped the tension.
Well, when it came off, it
Yeah, it's going to. But the inner cover's gone.
Yeah.
And this is one of those flip upside down to hold the lifters up.
we got an engine because he's got to replace the crankshaft. So,
Oh, it broke the snout off.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
The
weird
alignment
thing.
snout.
Here's the weird thing. Took it into the dealership, found the flex plate to be damaged. Replaced the flex plate.
Because the
In
starter.
2,000 miles, the flex plate failed again.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't torque it right.
That's what I'm saying. There's whoever worked on it didn't remember to tighten everything down. They've had this apart. This came in how this is how it came in.
No oil pan, no nothing.
This is how it came in.
Yeah, the only thing I touched, a couple wiring harnesses, body mount bolts, steering and brakes.
But
So wait. If you. Something's not leading up here.
yeah.
Hence the reason it's here.
Yep.
These are sheared off too.
Oh, it
Well,
busted
that's
it.
because
It
it
came
hit
up
it.
and hit
Yeah,
it.
I guess it hit it.
It busted it. I mean,
Yeah.
That
so
one-
how
that
much
one's
did
gone.
that dampener weigh?
Yeah.
And it was going 2,500 RPM
It was
and all that force.
25 to 30
Yeah,
pounds. ain't it?
And it just, I mean, you're talking 500 pounds of
Not to mention,
pushing
this
force.
is the one that's got that tone ring behind it, doesn't it? Does this have that secondary tone ring behind it?
We don't have it.
That acts as a freaking shear? Guillotine?
So yeah,
Guillotine
it
hacked
came
it out?
up, and I mean, we got to inspect everything here.
Yeah, the funny thing is that both gone.
You know what's crazy though is the radiator.
Maybe they didn't put it back in.
Made it?
The fan and fan guard guards that.
And then it just
Well,
it kicked
the
it up, and
balancer in their notes said it ended up resting in the bottom of the shroud against the radiator intercooler, which
That was a lie.
yeah, there's
The
not
guard.
a single mark.
No, the guard. Because it has the guard.
Yeah, see the fans.
I mean, there's some impaction on the intercooler here.
I mean, where it rubbed it.
Yep.
But
That
nothing-
might be where it hit, but it didn't touch that radiator.
Yeah, I didn't touch that. You knew it.
You have a little bit of impact on the intercooler, and that's it.
That's scary. How much I want to see how that affects the thrust bearing. Plus, I want to see what it does to the cam bearings. Because this front cam bearing is probably going to be rash because of that off balance, that pitch and yaw. And I wonder if flexing the crankshaft into the camshaft that ruins it, because they say that they lost the starter gear. If you ever lose a starter gear, it tends to load
Yeah.
thrust bearing one way or the other.
Well, they said the flex plate came apart. It was like in pieces.
Doesn't matter. It
I
still
know.
creates a.
Well, I know, but then what gets us is what caused the failure in 2,000 miles.
Well, somebody didn't use the click or the beep. One of the two they left out.
Something. Or they
times.
didn't get the torque converter seated all the way and they flexed it.
That's what I was.
If they do that, yeah, that would.
So when we get it off, there's going to be a in-depth inspection of the torque converter.
All right, so we got our new engine over there and the engine that I just pulled out of the truck, and this is a good opportunity to show you the carnage, the things that broke. So if you look down here, this is where the harmonic balancer bolts to the front of the crankshaft, and this front pin, centering pin, is sheared off, as well as this locating pin, and then there's a crankshaft position sensor that goes right here as well. So if you look here on our new motor, you can see that centering pin and alignment dowel right there, and then our crank position sensor over here. So
Took it in, wouldn't crank start. They found the flex plate broken. Put on a new flex plate. 2,000 miles later, it failed again. Put on another new
When you
flex.
say it failed again, it
came
wouldn't
apart.
crank.
It came apart. They said it came apart. Like
Okay.
it cracked, came apart.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah,
they
okay.
said.
I
So
got it.
yeah. So anyway, another new flex plate. Well, I don't know the exact mileage going down the road. The crank dampener came off. Whacked a bunch of stuff. But you go on there, sheared every bolt, sheared the guide pin and the center snout. You know, me and Dylan are talking about it, and
Holy smoke.
Yep. The only way that happens is if the bolts get left loose.
Yeah.
So the dealer, their line is, we didn't touch it.
And it's been to 3 different dealerships. And then I think the last time was the dealership he bought it from.
Where's the harmonic balancer?
We don't have it.
So it
didn't-
came
they
off on
didn't-
the road and it's
No,
some-
they said it was sitting in the fan shroud. And they won't answer our calls, or
Who are they, the dealer?
the dealer. Brandon's like, hey, can we get the dampener, have a look at it? But you can see something did come apart. They didn't clean up the bell housing very good. It'd be nice to be the fly on the...
Yeah, well, look at this. Looks like the bell housing itself, when the dowel, you know, when they didn't get that lined up right, and they kind of wallowed that out.
It'd just be nice to have the story of, you know, okay, what did you find after it failed the second time?
Did you try to get one of these broken studs out of here? Just
Yeah,
try-
I got one of them out.
Well, this one's turning by hand too.
Yeah, they all just come right out.
Yeah, that tells you flat out the thing wasn't tightened down.
And no Loctite.
Yeah. And so, everybody out there, let me explain something. This is a policy in my shop, and it should be a policy in anybody's shop. You see how that bolt has nothing on the threads? Every bolt that goes into any shaft that spins and rotates, whether it's your flex plate, your front harmonic balancer, a camshaft, whatever, you should have a dab of blue Loctite on them threads. Yeah. You can see that. This doesn't happen, this wallowing out. The way that happens is things start to because they're all loose. So, looks like when it came apart, it also cracked this front cover here. It's going to need a new front cover.
Yeah, it busted off where the crank sensor goes. You can see it had been wobbling for a while, rubbing
Jeez.
on the front cover, and then it went.
Why would a guy take off a harmonic balancer to replace a flex plate? You wouldn't.
Or he was using to turn it, and he forgot to tighten the bolts back up. Like he overshot it, turning it to line up to get the torque converter bolts, and then had to back up.
Yeah, but that's not the easiest way to turn this motor over.
I know.
Wait, what is the easiest way to turn this motor over?
The boring bar you put into the
Yeah.
rear cover, and then
But maybe they didn't have it. It's a dealer though, right? In fact, that goes in that hole right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that where that goes in? They call that the boring, what do they call
Boring
it?
bar?
No, they don't call it a
I thought it was
boring bar.
was it a boring bar?
So we're here deciding what do we call that tool? It's got the gear. Barring tool.
Barring
That's it,
tool,
bro.
okay.
Dylan comes through,
Took me a
dude.
minute.
It's a barring tool, not the boring tool.
Barring.
It's the barring tool.
It's boring. You got a turd, get it in there.
Okay. Do we remember?
Barring, there we go,
Barring.
barring.
Didn't we have a truck came in from someplace and they jammed up the motor by leaving the barring tool in there? Didn't
Yeah,
we? Was
Kyle
that-
has it.
Kyle had that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You kind of wonder if that's what broke the flex plate after 2,000 miles.
Don't know.
The housing's
The
not-
other dealerships, the only ones that
The
know.
housing's not all jacked up. Oh well. This is pieces of the cover, huh? Jeez, man.
Yep.
Was there any Loctite on these bolts?
Yeah, they're
Okay, folks. So here's some Loctite on the flex plate bolts. That's what we're talking about. You're looking for thread lock on those. Somebody had them bolts on loose on that harmonic balancer and caused all this problem. Now here's the point. I will never say the dealership did it. I wasn't bent over the fender watching the guy work on it. I have no freaking clue, and that's what I'll tell the customer. You know, I'm not going to speculate, and that's what a lot of shops will do. They'll speculate and want to dump it. It's unfortunate that the dealer, I would be very suspect about something not right with the flex plate they put on there, breaking within 2,000 miles. Maybe, I mean, this is, now here I will speculate, but I'm not going to accuse anybody of it. It might have been the flex plate broke because all that harmonics is like being transferred through that flex plate, and it's just vibrating and humming back there because the harmonic balancer was loose from the get-go.
Yeah, it's a miracle it didn't bust up the radiator
Well,
and a bunch of other
sometimes
stuff.
we just don't know how it happened, but
Yeah.
we can sure make sure it never happens again. Okay, so here's what we found. We've removed the engine. We've removed the flex plate off the back of your engine, and it did have Loctite on the bolts and stuff, and it should have. And this is important because I'll get to that in a minute. All four, I never have found the harmonic balancer. They said in the notes here it was sitting up in front. It's not. I don't know where it got. Somebody's. And we've tried to call the dealership there in Arizona, but they won't return our call. They're not helping us out. What I have the front of the crankshaft with 4 broken bolts off in that crankshaft. And the only way those bolts would have broke like that is if they were left loose in that harmonic balancer. All that force and vibration is just, and it sheared it off. I mean, that's the only way that happens. Now, those bolts, the same as they're at the other end of the engine. The harmonic is at the front, the flex plate's at the back. The front bolts don't have any thread locker on them. So somebody at some point has removed those bolts and not torqued them and installed them correctly. That's a guarantee. I can't tell you who did that, though, with the evidence that I have. I mean, it would be speculation. I'm pointing the finger at whose fault it is, but it's not speculation on what caused the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. Never in my life have I replaced a flex plate within 2,000 miles after I put a new one on. That's ridiculous. I would probably venture to believe that they don't have a barring tool, and the way they're turning this motor over is loosening those front bolts and putting a pry bar in it to crank it over.
Core's okay though, Dave? My core looks fine.
We haven't, your core hasn't, we've got your engine out. Your crank's not going to be okay, so you're going to, but the block and head, Brandon should have something for you in a couple days on that.
Yeah, I just sent Brendan too a message too. I'm gonna go ahead and get the banks on there too. Might as well, man. Right? So.
Well, you know, I think he's got some other pricing for you that he was waiting on. Hang on a second, I'll transfer you to him, Greg. Thanks, man.
Okay, good. Thanks for the call, Dave.
You know, sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. And it's all speculation, but this is it's a terrible situation. Okay, we're going to tear this down now and find out if we've got any other damage besides, you know, when the harmonic balancer tore up the snout on the crank and broke all the bolts. You know, I'm going to be interested to find, am I going to find something that would have caused 2 flex plates to go bad within, you know, less than 2,000 miles? I don't think I'm going to find anything in this motor that's going to cause that, but you never know. Let's go see. Check end play on my crank. I want to see what the thrust bearings look like. The crank is, I'm not going to save the crank because the snout's tore off of it.
I did see that, yeah.
But I'm going to be looking for some type of, why did the flex plates go bad?
I agree. I heard two cracks.
I think it's installer error, to be honest with you. But let's find out what we got inside the engine.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Looks like we got cracks on a couple pistons, definitely on one here.
Oh yeah, jeez. Big time.
Yeah.
They're all.
I think 4 and 5, I believe, didn't have cracks. I'm still putting it down on the tablet.
You can see kind of where the valve is hit, right?
Yeah,
You
right
can
there.
see where that valve hit. And I got a ticket on it. This motor
Busted a rocker arm. They replaced it at 60,000 miles. This motor busted a rocker arm. I'm wondering if we can,
Interesting.
if that's what cracked that piston.
Yeah.
Because,
you know, the dealer's not going to cover him on all these problems.
No.
And man, that piston is cracked bad.
All the head bolts were, it feels like pretty loose. Like usually the gun, has a couple clicks before they come out, and they all just came right out. The head didn't really seem like, didn't want to grab the gasket. Like it seemed like the head was off before. Can't say for sure. Yeah.
So on this 2024 Ram, I know we've got this engine here that we've already built for this. That's going in, and it's got the speed of air and all that other stuff in there, and the Hamilton KM upgrade. But what we found so far, pulled the head off. Number 1 piston's got like 6, 7 cracks in it, big cracks in the piston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the only thing that's has me kind of concerned is at 60,000 miles, I talked to him on the phone, he sent me an invoice this morning. The dealer replaced rock arms and push rods because number 1 cylinder was misfiring.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't say what was wrong with them. And this is the 5th gen, it's got the roller cam in it.
Yeah.
And it still has a roller. I can look down there and see them roller lifters in there. But, and it looks to me like that piston got hit with a valve.
Oh, really?
Now, would that cause all this damage to the crankshaft, the front harmonic balancer? No. This thing smells like butt, dude.
It
This
does.
thing is stinky.
It does.
You know what that tells you? The thing's been cooked
That's right.
hot. What'd you find out? Anything else?
Nothing that really shows me that it got cooked.
What was our end play?
So main end play, I just felt it. It felt really stiff, very, very little movement.
Yeah, well, I'd say there's nothing going on here, man.
No.
Yeah, but the problem is he's busted the snout off of here. I mean,
Yeah.
the broken bolts. But by the time I fix this, it's not worth the crank
No.
core. Oh, jeez.
I only had one piston that had like a little bit of skirt wear, but nothing major that's like telling me that that's the issue.
You see how much carbon is built up between the first and second ring on this piston? Look how much less is here.
Oh, look how bad this one is. Look how bad this one is.
I want to say a fueling issue.
Yeah. I would think it's a fueling issue. You're getting too much fuel. You're washing your rings. Maybe the tune's wrong. Guys, got a tune in this, or this motor was a rebuilt engine, and so maybe they didn't get the cylinder wall RA right, and it's just you're getting too much oil burning by it.
Yeah.
But this is a problem. You shouldn't see this on a motor that's been just rebuilt recently.
Yeah.
That you should only see that on something that's got 100,000 miles.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Well, I don't see anything that would indicate why this motor busted a flex plate twice.
Yeah.
So, and I certainly don't see anything why that would have happened, except somebody has loosened that up and didn't tighten it down.
I agree.
right.
I agree 100%.
And the whole dilemma here for our customer and for us is we'll never know who that was. There's no way to track down that criminal.
No.
But we've got a motor built. We'll get it back in, and we'll give him the news. I don't see anything here that. I will tell him about the number one piston. We'll save that, mark that,
Okay.
and maybe he can use that when he goes back to the dealer about some warranty claim on it, because he does have a ticket at 60,000 miles that they replaced rocker arms that were broken on it. So maybe they hit the piston and cracked it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Flashback.
Okay, so you're doing the cylinder head.
Yes.
Walk me through. I see you got a few marks on it. What's going on?
So before we do anything, we check guide clearance, and anything above 2.5 thou, we mark bad and we replace. So we check taper. A few of these were reading like 4 thou, had like 3.5 taper on a couple of these.
Really?
So we'll drill them out, clean up the top end on the other side, and then we'll press in new ones over here.
And then what about seats?
Seats we will cut out on the new end.
Okay. So you're gonna do all your seat work?
Yes.
There.
Yeah,
okay.
we're trying to move everything to that.
Okay. Nothing's been done on this head but it's clean, just a basic.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you're gonna do. Looks like you're almost set up to drill out some guides.
Center up on the guide. Lock the head.
Okay, so now you're pressing the guides in. These are the new ones?
Yes, these are the new ones.
Beautiful.
This up here, we use these two together and set your distance. So that way, whenever we get ready to put in this new one, put on the press lube.
And then there's a clamp at the bottom basically, so it's just gonna squeeze it together.
Line it up. There you go.
And so this sets it to the right depth?
Right.
Even?
Exactly. So I would set my height and distance on one already in here for the new ones I put in.
That's awesome.
We're going to show you something here. See how dry this is up in here? Now he's put assembly lube on all the points here, the contact points and the push rods and in the bridges and things like that, and down on the lifters and everything. But we're going to pressurize our motor before we even spin it over, and that's one of the many things this wet bench, our sim test machine, will do.
Yep, we got it hooked up right here. This is direct, basically bypassing the oil cooler and the oil pump and just directly feeding right to the mains.
Go ahead and give me some oil pressure. So you've got oil pressure here, and you'll start to see it squirt out up here.
Should be coming up here very soon.
You can hear it too, the air.
Yep.
So here, you start to see it in the rocker arm bushings. It'll fill the head up.
Yep. And it'll actually go, there's a port to the threads of these adjuster screws, and then it'll leak down right onto the push rod.
So that tells us every push rod, which is every lifter now, bore has got oil in it.
Yep, you can see it. They got holes through the rocker to the tips. You can see it start to come out of all these. Some of these might not show it just because it's already got pressure on.
Yeah, and that does.
But once we roll it over.
See, this one is loose.
Yep.
You want to roll it real slow?
So if I jog it really slow.
The ones that have oil here don't have.
Yep. So it'll come
now this
out.
one will start to get pressure in it, or oil flow. I mean.
Now you'll see the oil coming out.
There it is. Now guys, this is one of the things we look for. All these little details we can actually observe and make sure everything's functioning right, because we don't want to dirt in the lift or something, and we could, a shop that doesn't do this on their builds can build a motor, think they got everything right, and they did, but you could have a part failure or something like that, and this is how we catch it. So doing short of that, you're kind of risking. So the next thing he'll do is he'll do a running compression test, check the pressure on all the cylinders, run some other turning torque tests, and we'll bag it up and get her shipped.
Yep.
Nice.
End of flashback.
Hey, looks like you got her all put back together.
Yeah, we got it running now.
Nice. Any hiccups? Any gremlins?
Yeah, so
problems?
We did have a little one. You know, I got it first started up, and then I was doing my break-in period, and I started to hear some squealing noise.
Oh, geez.
But it would change with the engine RPM, and it sounded like an exhaust gasket. So I had someone rev it up for me and started listening, and the EGR cooler, where it seals to the manifold in the back.
That back one?
The back elbow.
Really?
Yeah, that gasket was leaking, so we got a brand new gasket, put that in there, and
problem's
it's good
gone.
to go now. So
I hear you drove it home last night.
yeah, I drove it home last night and back here, and runs good so far. So
well, sweet. Well, maybe I'll take it for a drive and see how she handles.
Probably the newest truck I've ever put an engine in.
2024, yeah.
Yeah, it's only a year or two old. Huh?
Doesn't happen too often.
How is that thing?
It's running really good. Got that new engine in there with that new flat tappet conversion for that 5th gen Cummins. It runs really good.
Sweet.
Sounds good, makes good power.
I heard we also did some Banks upgrades on it too.
Yeah, we put a Banks Monster Ram on there, of course, while we had it. So
good job, dude. I know that I've given him all the evidence we can, and I'm hoping that he can get some help from the manufacturer, but we'll probably never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan here, who's like the genius, has got an idea, and I'm going to say it's 100% on point about why the Gen 5 Cummins is having push rod and rocker arm failures. Why don't you show us what you found?
All right, so right here we have the 5th gen Cummins style rocker arm assembly.
This is the original. This is what every 5th gen comes with. Yep. 2019 to whatever, right now Cummins, this is what it's got.
Yeah, so you got your push rod that goes down to the lifter and it sits in the rocker arm like that.
And this pushes on the valve here, and the cam, it goes, so it's constantly being like that. And look what it's doing.
8 into the push rod like crazy, and you can see, you know, I got like 6 or 7 push rods here that are all just chewed up this bad.
Oh, look at, yeah.
And so
they're supposed to look like that. Nice, yeah, look at the difference. So this is down in the lifter is like that, but up on the rocker arm, they're all looking like they're just being eaten apart.
Yeah, just getting chewed up really bad. So I just started looking at it. I'm like, what's the deal here? You know, Cummins, they never did this.
Right.
So
1st to 4th generation never had this problem.
Yeah, you never have this issue on a Cummins, really. And so I just started looking at it. You know, this is your rocker arm. You get oil pressure that comes up through the pedestal into the rocker arm assembly here, and then just feeds oil through there. But it's not going to be a lot of pressure.
And the oil comes out that little hole there. So when you let this thing sit, the oil is just draining out of that little cup, and it's gone. Dylan, his theory is, and I think it's genius, dude. What's happening in the new style is this thing just sits there and it's draining all the oil out of it.
Yeah.
And so the old style.
So you can look at the old style here. You see the push rod has the cup in it, and then the ball is up on the rocker arm assembly. So the oiling system is the same on both styles. So the issue to me is the rocker arm. So you think about it, the push rod sits in the engine like this. So with the old style, you have gravity working in your favor. That's going to hold the oil. The new style, the cup is now on top.
So it's empty.
So it's not going to retain the oil at all. It's just going to drain it right off.
Cummins, you know, make him an offer. It's got to be big, man. He makes good money here. But Cummins, make him an offer. He's smart. He can fix your problems for you.